Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, the Mooney Acclaim Ultra is rolled out, GAMA announces 2015 sales and delivery numbers, electronic stability enhancement added to the Diamond DA40. I'm Bri Cross, it's February 12th, 2016, and this is Airborne Unlimited. Mooney International Corporation unveiled the latest generation of its legendary M20 aircraft for 2016. The aircraft has been designated the M20V Acclaim Ultra. The new Acclaim Ultra features detail improvements to the overall fuselage, including a first-ever pilot door and composite-wrapped cabin, a clean sheet interior design, and instrument panel enhancements. The Ultra is powered by the Continental TSIO 550G 280 horsepower engine, and Mooney claims a speed of 242 knots. The new Acclaim Ultra incorporates the use of composite technology as a smooth, single-piece composite shell now wraps around the cabin area and its all-metal roll cage. Most noticeably upon walk-up to the aircraft is a new left-side pilot door. In addition, both pilot and co-pilot doors have been stretched in length by 4 inches. Among other things, the new interior features an integrated Garmin Flight Management keypad for use with the aircraft's G1000 system. Mooney is taking orders for the aircraft, and FAA certification is anticipated in the second quarter of this year, with first deliveries to follow shortly thereafter. GAMA has released the 2015 worldwide year-end aircraft shipment and billing numbers at its annual State of the Industry press conference, and the news was pretty dismal for much of the industry. The General Aviation Manufacturers Association Chairman Aaron Heichman announced that total worldwide general aviation airplane shipments for 2015 fell by 4.6% from the previous year. Year 2015 billings for GA airplanes also dropped 4% from 2014. Worldwide rotorcraft shipments fell by 4.4%, while billings dropped 21.9%. Shipments of piston engine airplanes in 2015 fell for the first time since 2010, decreasing 6.5%. Turboprop airplane shipments also declined by 7.6%. Business jet shipments were relatively flat, with an increase of only 1.6%, while turbine helicopter shipments softened slightly. However, 2015 shipments of piston helicopters did show an 8.6% increase. GAMA President and CEO Pete Bunce said in part, quote, "Given the relative strength of the North American GA market, it is particularly important that the U.S. Congress proceed quickly to pass an FAA reauthorization bill that contains certification streamlining and other regulatory reforms that allow manufacturers and repair overhaul organizations to deliver products more efficiently and make the FAA workforce more productive." After the break, Diamond's 2016 DA40 XLT gets its electronic stability enhancement.
Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Welcome back. If you would like to be a supporter of Airborne Unlimited, send an email to jim@aero-news.net. Diamond Aircraft 2016 DA40 XLT 4-place general aviation airplane is equipped with a long list of standard features and equipment that now also includes Garmin's electronic stability and protection system and Garmin's new ADSB. Peter Moore, President and CEO of Diamond Aircraft Industries in Canada, said in part, quote, "Garmin's electronic stability and protection system is an effective active safety feature that helps to avoid loss of control, the leading cause of fatal accidents. And we are pleased that we are now able to offer it as standard equipment on all of our Garmin GFC 700 automatic flight control system equipped aircraft." Diamond says they have delivered over 1,800 DA40s since its introduction in the year 2000. It's Friday, and that means that it's time for ANN CEO and Editor-in-Chief Jim Campbell to check in with his weekly barnstorming commentary. While some say that privatizing ATC will improve efficiency and services, Jim's opinion is that ATC privatization is nothing but an airline power grab. Here is this week's barnstorming.
Thanks, Bree. Hi, folks. Let's talk about ATC privatization. It's been talked about more and more, especially as it got snookered into recent legislation by folks who should know better. Let's face it, the government doesn't run things all that well, but it's the enemy we know. And to put together an outside organization to create the kind of chaos that has to ensue when all of a sudden massive changes are made to a complex system that by and large doesn't work half bad, it's just that it's not keeping up with the times, well, let's face it, it's a recipe for disaster. And what this really is an attempt to divert control over one of the most significant transportation assets in the world, the North American Air Traffic Control System, because let's face it, the U.S. is the North American Air Traffic Control System by and large. It will be mainly run by airline and affiliated interests. There will be seats at the table supposedly for business aviation, general aviation. I think sport aviation isn't going to even be considered as a group. But overall, those groups are going to be minor parties at the table. And let's face it, we can't win under the circumstances. Even some of the airline parties themselves have decided this thing stinks to high heavens. Take a look at why Delta got out of A4A. I'm not saying it's the only reason they got out, but there's no question that they know that there's a system out there that can be tweaked and fixed rather than overhauled and possibly left to become an even bigger quagmire than it potentially is already. The air traffic control system needs modernization. They're slowly but surely working at it. There's a bunch of contractors out there that have been sharpening knives and going at it. And of course, the financial interests on this are pretty much ruling the roost because that's the way politics works right now. But if we put together this overarching, overreaching supervision of all things air traffic control by commercial industry without the proper kind of controls and with the experience that's already in place, we're asking for a disaster. We're asking for a system that isn't going to work, a system that could conceivably fail, and a system that will not serve the nation. And for those of us who enjoy the freedom of the skies, for our own business purposes, for our own recreation, for our own reasons, well, let's just put it this way. We may get a seat at the table, but it's going to be at the kids' table, and it's not going to work out. ATC privatization does not work. We look around the world, there's areas where it works better than others, but overall it has not been a ringing success. And here in the United States, with all the political interests ready for the catfight of the century, you have to know that the minute ATC privatization is turned into law, it's going to be the feeding session of the century. We have to stop this. We have to stop this now. It's not good for aviation. It's not even good for the airlines. It's not good for air travel, recreation, you name it. But overall, it's bad, not just for America, but for the world. For the Aero-News Network, Airborne and Aero-TV, I'm Jim Campbell, and yeah, I'm against ATC privatization.
After these messages, ALPA calls on congressional action on lithium battery shipping.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. The Airline Pilots Association is calling on the U.S. Congress to take action regarding the regulation of shipping lithium batteries aboard aircraft. They are calling for all shipments of lithium batteries to be fully regulated as outlined in dangerous goods standards and regulations. Boeing has announced plans to reduce its workforce primarily in the commercial airplane division. The Seattle Times reports that Boeing said executives and managers will be the first to be let go, but the employment reductions will be across all segments. The Naval Air Station and Tillamook Air Museum, Tillamook, Oregon, has added a C-27A Spartan to its collection. The airplane that is now on display at the museum is one of only 5 of the type known to still be in existence. The Sywell Aerodrome in Northampton in the UK has canceled its biennial air show for 2016. They say the body governing civilian-run air shows in the UK is looking to increase charges levied on air show operators and display pilots by unsustainable amounts. A massive lighter-than-air hybrid aircraft is expected to fly soon. Hybrid Air Vehicle says 2016 will be a momentous year for the future of aviation, with the innovative Airlander 10 taking to the British skies for the first time. Well, that's the trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. Airbus has started final assembly of the first A350-1000 on schedule at the A350XWB final assembly line in Toulouse, France. This A350-1000, which is one of 3 flight test aircraft to be built, will take to the skies for its maiden flight before the end of 2016. While having a very high degree of commonality with the A350-900, the A350-1000, which measures nearly 243 feet from nose to tail, is the longest fuselage version of Airbus's family of wide-body jetliners. The A350-1000 will be powered by Rolls-Royce Trent XWB-97 engines, the most powerful engine developed for an Airbus aircraft. The A350-1000 will seat 366 passengers in a typical 3-class configuration and operate on routes of up to almost 8,000 nautical miles. A350-1000 deliveries will start in mid-2017. Well, that's our program for today. Remember to get comprehensive real-time 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily Monday through Friday with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. Please join us and a growing roster of over 100 outstanding industry associations and organizations every weekday for the best in aviation and aerospace news from the staff of the Aero-News Network, the aviation world's most comprehensive news and information resource. Have a wonderful weekend. We will see you Monday.